Welcome to Homebrew Wednesday number 2. Was maybe going to do my mash tun today, but before I started filming, I did a little test back at the hardware store. I tried to get away with a fitting that just wasn't quite right. I knew it just wasn't quite right, and lo and behold, it wasn't quite right. And so it's going to be kind of a quick Homebrew Wednesday number 2. It's been kind of a busy day. I got a lot of little things in the works. Don't really have a lot of them videoed yet. In here, I have the very last bottle of my batch number 3, which is, to date, my favorite batch. And do a little pour on that and consume the last one of those. So let's start with that. We'll go ahead and open that with my favorite bottle opener, which happens to be in my hat. Got that from my brother-in-law. Makes for a great hat. And so, let's see how this one holds. Nice carbonation. I love the color. I like the maltiness I have in this one. The primary hops in this is the aroma hops is Fuggles, and this was the first time I had used Fuggles. I get a little bit of a citrus note there. The hops definitely comes through. It actually has a little more of a citrus now that it's been in the bottle for a while. The malt is still very much there. It's basically 2-row and some Crystal 40. Very nice. The first recipe that I am going to repeat to some extent. This was brew in a bag, so it's my first all grain attempt as well. And so although it's the first one I'm going to repeat, I'm changing it. So I guess it's not exactly a repeat because I'm going to brew it as a 5-gallon batch with the mash tun, with the system as complete as it's going to be. And so this week I was out of town. The upside of being out of town is I went to Milwaukee, which is, I don't know, 7 to 8 hours away from where I live. But in Milwaukee, Northern Brewer has a store. Northern Brewer has very nice shipping, $7.99 shipping to pretty much anywhere, at least in the States. And so it's not a requirement to go to their store. It's just a perk. Since I was there, I also have a couple of bags of grain. This one is 40 pounds of 2-row and 4 pounds of Crystal 40, which I'd like to just open and smell because it just smells so great. Just being in the mill room there is a wonderful place to just hang out. But for the sake of not having smell-o-vision on the internet, we won't bother with that. But and this bag here is actually an all-grain kit from Northern Brewer. It's called Dawson's Multi-Grain Red, I believe is the name of that kit. Basically, on Big Brew Day, I tried this one that one of the ladies at the brew club had made, and I really enjoyed it. And so I'm going to try this one as well. Haven't decided which of these two will be my first all-grain batch. Like I said, this will be the first one that I've repeated, and it will be an all-grain batch. I just don't know if it will come before this one. This one has, let's take a quick peek. It's in the fridge here. We have all of the yeast and the hops. The Dawson's is mostly Willamette. Once again, the main one in mine is a Fuggle. And I'm also going to add some Northern Brewer whole leaf as a bittering in mine. And they're both going to use Nottingham yeast because one of them will probably be fermented in my parents' basement, because this little fridge that I'm going to set up is my fermenter, only holds one fermenter. And I believe these batches are probably going to be one brew day. And so the nice thing about the Nottingham is its lower temperature goes down all the way to 57 Fahrenheit. And that puts it in a good spot for my parents' basement, which has only got about a 4-degree range, which is really nice, but it's about 58.5 plus 4 degrees. And the US-05 that I've been using lists its bottom range is about 60. And so I'm going to go with the Nottingham on both of these batches. One of them, like I said, will probably ferment there. The other one will ferment here because I did get my SCT 1000 temperature controlling unit that I have to build a box for and mount for this mini fridge, so that this can be my fermenting chamber. I had all the stuff in my cart to also try my my first actual lager. If you'll remember, I talked in either Homebrew Wednesday #1 or in my introduction video about making this one into a lager and what yeast to use. And although I probably will try to lager this one at some point, right now I'm just trying to be able to recreate it so that I can get it done and get it bottled and get it tested as this batch, as a 5-gallon batch, make sure I like the way it comes out so that I can make it on a bigger scale and let some people try it. And so we'll do that first, and then we'll consider lagering it. The first lager I'm going to try to make is going to be a traditional American light lager. My wife really enjoys Red Stripe, and so that's going to be very interesting. It has an IBU around 14. It has a color of brown non-existent. It's basically Willamette hops, 40% base malt, 20% rice. Very mild, very light beer. Everything I read says because it's so light, every mistake you make is going to be amplified. And so, never one to be discouraged by the task. I'm going to give it a shot, and we'll see how it comes out. What else did I buy while I was at Northern Brew or anything else I can show you? Well, I did find different colored caps. I have some gold caps up there, and I found some silver ones. And I like to have a couple different colors so that if I'm making 2 different batches when I'm bottling, I can differentiate so that it's a little easier to tell which one is which without labeling my bottle. Since if I label them, then I would have to unlabel them before I brewed again. And so, for the time being, I'm trying to have different tops. I also found some more washers or seals for my flip top bottles, and I have a fair number. I think I have good ones for all of the bottles I have in circulation right now, and they've only been used once, and I'll probably use them 4 or 5 times. But since my homebrew store had been out, I had bought all they had. I thought I should buy them as long as they were available. This is the sanitizer I've been using, One Step. It's a no-rinse. It seems good. I haven't had any real problems with it. I certainly haven't had any infections. But I see no need to fear the foam. I'm going to go ahead and, for the most part, switch to Star San in the near future. So that's kind of how my weekend went in my shopping list. And these are the things that I have in the works at the moment. I have to work on that temperature control unit. Depending upon how things go that day and if I have the time available to shoot it while I'm doing it, I'd like to do a video on that, although a lot of really good videos out there already because I've watched several of them. That's why I bought the thing. And so I don't know whether I will bother with that one. I might just put some links to the videos that some people did really good videos. I don't see a need for me to redo them. Other than that, that's my day at the moment. Big shout out to 17crew.com, the number 17, crew.com. all the broadcasters. Thanks to all of you. If you haven't been there, go there. It's a great place. Craig Tube, Maniac. If I start trying to list them all, I'm gonna lose some dudes. Jake and Dar, Inaladius. Great group of guys, great group of gals. A lot of fun. Check it out. All the other people that I use and so on and so forth. Shout out to them as well, obviously. But for now, cheers, 17.